I first saw the town on an old paper map in a gas station off the interstate. The clerk had given it to me for free, apologizing for the smear of ink where the state line bled like a bruise. A thin red road veered away from the main highway, looped twice as if uncertain, then ended at a dot labeled with a name I didn't recognize. The name looked wrong, not in the sense of spelling, more like my eyes refused to stay on it. Each time I focused, the letters tilted, faintly blurred, as though the printing press had stuttered mid-stamp. I blinked. The air conditioning unit dripped and wheezed overhead. Behind me, the soda fridge hummed. "You don't want to go there," the clerk muttered without looking up from his receipt tape. I hadn't said anything. "Go where?" He flicked his gaze to the map, just once. The fluorescent lights seemed to buzz louder. "That dead end. People miss turns out here, I just mean. Lot of wasted gas." When I looked back, the smear of red ink was still there, the looping road like a crooked question mark. But where the town's name had been, there was only a faint shadow of letters, as though erased with spit and thumb. I told myself the print was cheap, the paper old. It was the kind of mundane road mystery that keeps you awake on long drives. By the time I pulled out of the lot, the map was already unfolding itself again on the passenger seat, the nameless town waiting at the end of its little red vein. Night settled quickly once I left the interstate, smearing the sky into a uniform, starless bruise. The two-lane road narrowed, shouldered by ditches that drank my headlights. The white lines on the asphalt wavered like they'd been painted over something else and were trying to peel away. The loop came sooner than I expected. The road curled left in a lazy arc, then right, then left again, circling like a dog before sleep. My GPS lost its mind, recalculating with frantic arrows that spun in place. "No service," the screen finally admitted, the map freezing on a gray void. I killed the radio and cracked the window. Outside, the dark had texture. Not the open emptiness of fields, but a thicker, denser black, like the walls of an unlit room. I could smell damp soil and something metallic under it, like old coins held too long in a warm hand. The town appeared without preamble. One moment there was only road and the suggestion of trees. The next, the yellow eyes of street lamps blinked on ahead, catching the edges of houses that leaned too close to the asphalt. The posted sign came a heartbeat later, reflective paint flaring in my beams. "Welcome to..." The space where the name should have been was raw metal, not even scratched where letters might once have bolted on. My headlights slid over the naked panel and kept going. I slowed to a crawl. Main Street, or what passed for it, ran straight between one-story shops with blackened windows and apartments that squinted from above like tired watchers. A bank with no logo. A diner with no sign. No cars. No people. Just my engines idle, ticking louder than it had any right to. There was a motel at the end of the strip, the kind built for truckers and men who travel alone. Its neon vacancy sign should have been red or green, but tonight it glowed a sour, indifferent white, the word itself hazy, as if written on glass fogged by breath. I pulled into the cracked lot more out of obligation than need. The map had led me here, and some stubborn part of me wanted a human voice to fold this into a normal story. The lobby door squealed open. Inside, the air smelled of old cigarettes and dryer lint. A TV mounted in the corner played static with the volume down. The reception desk was empty, save for a bell and a ledger whose pages were mostly blank. "Hello?" My word stayed in the room longer than it should have, echoing too softly, repeating itself in a half-dozen different tired register. A man appeared from a back room with the halting suddenness of badly edited film. He was thin enough that the motel issue shirt hung off him like wet cardboard. A name tag clung to his chest, but the letters were smeared into silver indistinction, as if someone had dragged a thumb across fresh paint. "Need a room," I said, and heard the question in it. He blinked slowly. "You're already here." His voice carried no accent and no curiosity. "I mean for the night." He slid the ledger toward me. "Just sign." The page where my pen hovered had one entry only, written in a cramped hand I didn't recognize. My own name, dated today. The ink was still glistening wet. I stepped back, heart thudding in one long, continuous beat. "I didn't..." "You did." The clerk's face didn't change, but something behind his eyes receded, like a figure stepping deeper into a hallway. Outside, a car drove by, its engine passing in slow motion, never quite arriving, never truly leaving. I left the pen where it lay and backed out of the lobby. The clerk watched without moving, eyelids never flickering, as if I were the one fading from his vision. The night hit me with the same thick texture as before, the air warmer now, swollen with the expectation of rain that never quite fell. The town had rearranged itself while I was inside. I knew it not from any specific difference, but from the wrongness that brushed my skin like a low-frequency sound. The motel now opened onto an alley where Main Street had been. The alley ran straight for a few yards before returning seamlessly to the front of the motel, a short loop where every brick repeated. Panic sharpened my focus. I counted windows. Each had the same chipped corner, the same smear of something dark on the sill. I scraped my palm against rough red brick and felt the same scab of mortar under my hand as I had 3 steps back. The town wasn't empty. It was occupied by a presence that moved in edits, cutting and splicing space with the clumsy precision of someone new to the concept of streets. Streetlights shifted when I wasn't looking. A post box appeared at my side, paint flaking, its slot a thin, ugly grin. Stuffed inside, I saw paper, maps, folded and unfolded on top of one another, all bearing the same looping road that led to the same blank dot. Some of the maps had my handwriting in the margins. You've been here. You are here. You never left. In the distance, or what this place pretended was distance, the motel sign buzzed and popped. The neon flickered, the letters briefly clarifying as if surfacing from deep water. Welcome to. Then darkness swallowed the rest, not deleting the name but refusing to show it, the way a mouth can keep a secret simply by never opening. Behind me, the clerk's voice arrived without direction. Places like this don't have names, he said. They have habits. The road back to the interstate unfolded beyond the lot, a red vein in my memory, not on any map. I drove. The town stayed with me anyway, hitching a ride behind my eyes. If you ever see a smear on your map where a name should be, don't trace it with your finger. Don't look too long. Towns like that remember those who try to remember them. They wait at the end of every dead end, rehearsing the shape of you until, eventually, you turn in.